How pathetic are we?
Speaking of pathetic.
Oh, here we go.
Putting a shift in, mate.
Didn't have a clue who either of you two were. What a couple of wankers.
What? Oh, dick me butt.
Fuck AI.
You have just completely read where my mind was.
Person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Welcome to Staying Relevant, the podcast hosted by two best friends who are currently sat on the same sofa together and touching. Me, Sam Thompson, and Peter James Jonathan Joseph Wicks.
There may be swearing in this. If you don't like it, go yourself. And remember to rate, review, do all of that sort of stuff. You know the score by now. This is a main episode, which means it's Monday, so you'll be able to watch this on Josh's YouTube channel on a Wednesday evening from 5 p.m. And then we do the bonus episode, which comes out on a Thursday, which you'll be able to watch on a Sunday on Josh's YouTube channel, which means that you can catch us on a
Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday.
Still like hostages. Love it. This is a very special episode because we have a guest in.
We do.
You may have heard the chuckle, but we have a very special guest and a very good friend of mine. Chris McCausland is back.
Hey! Chris, I've got to say, mate, a real honour to have you here.
Does any of that make sense, what he just said?
Not really. I just
The
like to
Monday,
confuse.
Thursday thing. I'm
Yeah.
trying to follow it. I gave up halfway through.
Yeah, basically, you can get 4 out of 7 days of the week you can catch us.
But some of that was repeats, was it? Like, I don't
it's-
get it. Was it the same thing, just like put on a different thing on a
Yes,
different day?
exactly. Yeah. We just like to milk it, really. It's called work smart, not hard.
Well, you've tried to camouflage it within words there, haven't you?
Yes,
That
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
as much as people. It's not as much as you're making out.
No. But we like to act like we're fucking really busy.
Chris, my favourite bit is when he makes us repeat after him
Yeah.
at like
Yeah.
a school class, even though we're all in our 30s here. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday.
Yeah. Well, this is the first time that Sam and Chris have met.
What an honour, mate.
Because it's a year since you were last on Staying Relevant. Sam was in Australia, sort of as a pillow or an extra or whatever.
He was commentating on people eating kangaroo genitals. And
I
things
was
like that,
indeed,
wasn't he?
Chris.
Yeah.
Mate, what's it like? Sort of the past year, you've been on tour every night, pretty much, since Strictly.
Yeah, it's been nuts. I mean, straight after Strictly, I was on tour. I did 144 dates I think it was 157 days.
That is fucking wild.
And it was partly because, I mean, for 3 reasons, really. I mean, I already had January to May on sale as tour dates, but then I had to move that period when we did Strictly. I had like 60 tour dates then. They had to be moved, and I dropped them on top of what I already had in the diary. And then we added extra dates because obviously I did Strictly. More people wanted to come and watch me because I can only imagine they've watched me and gone, I've seen him moving fast. I wonder what he's like sat on a stool. So, I'd love to see that guy stationary. So, so we ended up adding more days. Do you know what? I was doing 3 shows in one day on some of the days. And
Fucking matinee performances.
matinee to the matinee. Matinee to the
Fucking
matinee.
hell.
We did we had the 8 o'clock sold out, so they do the 4 o'clock, and then they go, 4 o'clock sold out, do you want to add a 1 o'clock? But they asked me when I was doing 8 hours dancing a day. And I was like, well, that sounds easy, doesn't it? And then you get to the point where you're doing it and you're like, this is a different level of tired. I made a decision, no more of them.
No more 3-day fucking shows.
Yeah, we've got a few more in the diary, but they were put in early on. But yeah,
You're
no,
up
it's
and down the
been busy.
country as well.
Everywhere, yeah. I mean, we've been just been up in Scotland for do a big old run up there, and do you know what? Do you know what winds me up when you're on tour and you're trying to get a bearing on where things are, and you're asking you ask Siri. Do you know what? I hate Siri with every fibre in my being. And you go like, how long does it take to drive from Edinburgh to Perth? And it goes, you can't drive to Perth. Perth is 12,000 miles away. And you go, I mean, at least understand that I'm most likely talking about the one that's in the same country as the first place I've just
Not
mentioned.
fucking Australia. You're fucking ridiculous. What do you think's harder, Chris? Do you think the 3.5 months in dance prison that we spent, training every day, or being on tour doing fucking 3 performances a day?
Dancing, mate. Dance prison. Literally the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Hardest, most exhausting, most consuming, most intrusive, most emotional kind of experience of my career. I don't know how you feel about it, mate.
I completely second that, although neither of us seem to be able to let go. because we've both been back in training over the past kind of month or so, because we both danced again. You
Yeah.
were contractually obliged to do it. I chose to have my own fucking stupidity.
So not only did I have to move. I mean, this is how little faith I had in any success I'd have on that show. First of all, right, when we got to the semi-final week, right, I had things in the diary. I was doing Jimmy Carr's Big Fat Quiz of the Year. I was doing the pre-record for the New Year's Eve special for the last leg. I was meant to be on Have I Got News for You, because when I put these things in, people said to me, "Oh, just to let you know, this is the semi-final week." And I went, "Yeah, well, that's not my business, is it? I'll be at home by then." And I ended up doing Jimmy Carr's show and last leg because they didn't need any prep. Have I got news for you? I had to say to them, listen, I can be there in body, but I won't know anything that's happened in the world unless it's about dancing, really. And so we pulled that one. But again, this opening episode of the series, I didn't realize I was contractually obliged to be there. And I had a tour date that we'd put in for the opening episode, because I don't think anybody read that far down on the contract.
No, absolutely.
When they got to the bit about the winner will need, I think everybody involved in my business just stopped reading.
Well, I think from the start, you and I both, because I didn't fucking cancel your work, because I thought we'd be out in 2 weeks. And I've said this to you before, when I looked at the fucking team sheet of who was doing Strictly, I thought I'd go out first, but if there was an opportunity, then the one person that would go out before me was fucking Chris. And as it turns out, he fucking beat everyone, which is an absolute joke.
Yeah, but you got to the semi, mate. Don't be underplaying yourself, you know. You your little latex trousers, mate.
Your little latex trousers.
It certainly
know
wasn't
what?
down to the dancing, but how was it there?
Squishy arse as well, if anybody's into a bit of Pete,
I'd
right?
rather you say it was fucking firm,
Absolutely
Chris. Do you know what I mean?
squishy, you know.
Did you give it a touch? Did you give it a pat?
Oh, fucking, he couldn't keep his hands off.
Do you know those? Do you know like those kind of rubberized
Stress balls.
squishies that kids have, and they're kind of filled with a bit of mush inside?
I
They
know
feel like
exactly. We have one in the office.
they're like a thick rubber with shaving foam in them or something like that. That's what Pete's arse felt like in those rubber trousers.
I mean, you're not
What were his
making
bollocks
Mark
like
sound...
after
Hey.
that? What were his bollocks like?
Well, he didn't fucking go that far. He's not
No,
you.
just in case. I've given him a squeeze.
I think they were strapped up round the back. You know, I thought they were piles
you
at
tucked
first.
him in.
But, yeah.
What was it actually like going back to dance? Did you have to... I mean, how much rehearsal did you do to go back into that?
We did about 4 hours.
Oh, was that
Yeah,
it?
about 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours. Because we put one day of training in. Well, we put 2 days in, and then I had some filming come up, and I went, I'll go and do the filming, and if we need a second day, we'll find a way of putting it in. But we ended up doing 1 day, and then obviously because it's Strictly, you can't just train, can you?
No.
Because you book it in, they go, well, actually, we need to come and film you, and we need to do an interview, and then we
VT,
need to do all the VT stuff. So we spent all morning doing that, and then we just had the afternoon from like 12 till 4:30.
Did it all
do
come
this.
flooding back?
It did, mate, yeah. And I mean, we picked the waltz, which was, I think one of the, easiest to get back in your head. It's all technique, isn't it? There's not a lot of, if we'd have done the jive, I think we'd have needed like a fortnight to get all that back in my head. But yeah, no, it came back quite quickly. But we did that training like 10 days before we filmed it. So I did say to them, like, even though it's come back into me, we're gonna need an hour or so before to like go over this a few times. But do you know what? Like I'd like to say I wasn't nervous. I really wasn't going into it, and I really wasn't being there. I saw Anton de Beek in the little canteen thing. I can't bring myself to say Star Bar in
Mate, it's terrible. That's what they call
They
the
call it
back-
Star
they
Bar.
call
the
it the
backstage
Star
of-
Bar.
And when we say Star Bar, what it is it's basically
It's
a fridge full of Coca-Cola and some biscuits. And
In
they
a
call it
tent.
the Star Bar.
In a
in a
tent.
tent. Yeah, in a tent.
Oh, that's where I
Literally.
used to go after your
Yeah,
performances.
literally, it's in a tent, and they call it the Star
They put
Bar.
a pizza in there.
Yeah, and you get Dominoes at the end of every Saturday.
The Star Bar.
Is it, mate?
and,
Sorry, can I just ask you a question? Hands up for 1 second. Is this for the start of this new series when you
Yeah.
go and do your dance?
Yeah, so
This
the
is
launch.
the launch show where everybody gets paired off on this new series, yeah. And I went back to do a dance with Dianne, and I was in the Star Bar, and Anton said to me, he goes, "How are you feeling, my love?" Yeah. He's a lovely fella. I said, I'm feeling good, mate. No pressure. I said, I'm going to do me dance, and I don't give a shit what you think about it. and I was kind of being honest at the time. I was taking the piss, and he laughed and that. But then, I was all right. And then literally 5 minutes before we went out there, Di went, "How you feeling? You nervous?" I went, "Nah." And then I went, "Actually, I am quite nervous."
Well,
So,
how did it go? Did it pull off without a hitch?
It was all, do you know what? It's like, it's one of them things that, like, I still don't know. Like, you can learn the things and you can do the things, but I've still got no idea whether anything I've done is good, right? And so you do it, and because it's pre-recorded, you've got an opportunity to do it twice if you want to do it twice. And so we did it, and we come out of that first, we do it in the studio. I have got no idea whether Di's going to go, "That was amazing," or "We need to do that again."
Yeah.
Because I've done it, but I don't know whether my elbows were in the right place. I don't. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've got no bearing on whether it's any good or not. And she said, "No, it was great."
Well,
So,
just to put into context, the waltz that you did, which was to Never Walk Alone.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to know if it was good, it won a fucking BAFTA. When did you do Never Walk Alone in the actual
Episode
series?
5.
Yeah.
Episode 5.
I was there.
Made Ian Beale cry.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, I mean, you won a BAFTA, Chris.
Yeah, but
because I was actually interviewing you on the radio the day of the BAFTAs, and I said to you, "So are you going? Have you prepared a speech?" And Chris went, "Nah."
You didn't go to the BAFTAs?
I'm in
No,
Guildford.
I didn't think we'd win.
Well,
We were up against Gavin and Stacey. Listen, the BAFTAs, the BAFTA we won was the only one voted for by the public, right? And when something's voted for by the public, it's usually just a numbers game, innit?
Yeah.
You know, if you're on a TV awards thing and you've got something, best comedy show, and you've got a Netflix show up against the Channel 5 show, you know the Channel 5 show's not winning.
Yeah.
Because it's a numbers game. And Gavin and Stacey got 18 million viewers.
Yeah.
And so you go, well, that's one, hasn't it? And so I mean, not turning up to collect a BAFTA is inadvertently the coolest thing
I was
I've
going
ever
to say,
done.
I love that.
I just want to point out
It's
this.
the most rock and roll thing.
Yeah.
Well, this is why you need to effectively teach us, because not only did you not even go and collect your BAFTA, the NTAs strictly won, and let's be honest, that was completely down to you. To the point that Chris wasn't at the NTAs because he was doing the launch show.
Yeah.
So they asked me to do the fucking speech for if Strictly won. Bear in mind, I didn't even make the fucking final, which is fucking ridiculous. So that's two huge awards that you didn't even bother turning up to. And yet us, when we got a fucking little podcast award, we had T-shirts made up with people to vote for us, and we turned up in a fucking limo.
That was just a
How
trick.
pathetic
Do you know
are
what?
we?
Speaking of pathetic.
Oh, here we
right?
go.
Do you remember when we started Strictly? And I remember the first episode. Was it the one where we all got paired?
Yeah.
Or was it the very first one? And Sam, you were there floating around, handing out Pete Wicks t-shirts.
Yes,
Yeah. Trying to drum. Team Pete.
Yeah. Just putting a shift in, mate.
Honestly, and I didn't have a clue who either of you two were. I was like, what a couple of wankers.
It's so true as well. It wasn't even just T-shirts. He had a full. There was jeans. There was fucking. All sorts of
we had
things.
Pete Wicks jeans that were going as well. Pete actually got a bit annoyed at me on one of the times though, Chris, where I was there with Aston and Marvin Humes, and during one of the breaks we started singing "Everybody in Love." And Pete literally went, "I can hear you. I'm in the fucking dressing room. I can hear you fucking singing Everybody
warming
in
up
Love."
the crowd on your fucking own. You couldn't even let me have my fucking moment, could you? Do you know what I mean? When I first told Sam that I was doing Strictly, you said, "This is going to be great for us." I was like, "Well, you're not fucking doing anything,
We
are
come
you?"
as a pair, Chris.
Do you know what though? I mean, listen, you can take the piss all you want, Sam, but he's you can only really do one better than him if you do it yourself.
Well, yeah.
So if you
Mate,
were offered it, you haven't done it, have you?
Oh no, I haven't done it.
Would you do it?
I don't think I could.
And is that because you don't think you could beat Pete?
I think he could definitely be. He's better than I am.
No, do you know what it is? I don't think.
But as we figured out, Pete, it's not about the dancing. It's about whether people buy into the personality.
Yeah.
Has he got the personality to drag himself past the semi-final?
I don't.
Well, you've met him. I think you know the answer to that one.
I don't know. Also, mate, this is why I have so much respect for you guys, and I really do mean this. I've said this to Pete many a time, but saying it to the winner of Strictly is pretty cool as well. Like to go out and do something that involves talent is like so alien to me. So the panic I would have.
But it didn't. That's the thing, is that it didn't involve talent. It involved turning up with no talent.
Yeah.
And having
had to
somebody with
learn
lots
it.
of it try and drill some of it into you.
Yeah, involved listening
Well, actually, do you know what?
and taking orders.
This is a question I've always wanted to ask you, mate. On that first fucking session, man, you go in, and obviously it's such a different experience for you than everyone else, right? Like, when you go in and you fucking do, and Diane's like, right, do this. At any point, you're like, this is fucking just mental.
So like when we started, right? I mean, I said no to this a few times, right? To Strictly, because I didn't know if it was possible, and I didn't really even know what it was. Like you can't explain it. They're like, describe it to me. You can't describe what a cha is in Strictly terms, in terms of how fast it is, how skillful it is, the technique. You can only be quite vague with your description. So I didn't really know what it was that was being asked of me. But when I kind of agreed to do it, I said to Di, listen, I don't want to be here as a token kind of, we don't want this dumbing down just so that I can participate. We need to do everything else that everybody else is doing, and if possible, even more, because we need to either go out in a blaze of glory or surprise people or go out in a blaze of glory. And she went, all right, brilliant. First dance, I'm going to do a cartwheel. You're going to catch me leg in midair, pull it down. I said, hang on a minute. Right. Whoa. Let's just dial that back a little bit. And so the first day of dancing, she did a cartwheel, right? And she didn't put enough into it. She ended up in a heap on the floor. Second time, she didn't put enough into it. I tried to grab her leg, and we both ended up in a heap on the floor. Third time, she came spinning through. She kicked me in the head so hard.
No.
Right? And do you know what? And this is the funny thing, is that like when you're doing the I knew that was funny, Dianne kicking me in the head, right?
She panicked.
I knew that they wouldn't want to go anywhere near this as a story, yeah? But I know on live TV, they don't have a say, right?
So
But I needed them to set me up for the story. So when they asked me, what can we talk about with Claudia on live TV? I said, well, I knew, I'm going to talk about Dianne kicking me in the head, right? But I didn't tell them that. I said, when we were doing the cartwheel thing and trying to practice that, it was so funny. We kept on falling over and ended up with a heap on the floor. Ask me about that.
and then as soon as they did it, you went,
Seriously,
she
ask
kicked me in the
about
head.
yeah. Seriously, ask me about
The
that.
panic, you could almost hear the bums on seats squeaking.
So Claudia had no idea what was coming up. She was expecting a different answer. I stood there and I took that foot in the face without flinching like that. But that's what you had to do in that show, is kind of, I knew where the lines were and I knew how to kind of walk them and kind of, but I also knew that they wouldn't be comfortable with things that I thought were funny.
This episode is brought to you by Corn. So tasty, why choose the alternative?
Wait, did you just say corn, like sweet corn?
No, Corn with a QU. My veggie staple.
There you go, right, you're a vegetarian. I
Yep.
do still sometimes forget, whereas I still love a burger.
Yeah, but even you would love corn minced and pieces. High in protein, perfect for growing those guns you keep flexing in every selfie.
Excuse me, I've got some serious gains.
Please, it's more like Jim Lighton and proud of the process. Unlike you, corn mince and pieces have nothing to hide.
Come on then, sell it to me properly, give it to me. What are we looking at?
Corn mince not only has no artificial ingredients, it cooks in just 10 minutes, perfect for whipping up some smoky burritos or a quick massaman curry with juicy corn pieces. Tasty, succulent, meat-free meal.
Whoa, well, when you say it like that, I feel like my mouth is watering.
Please don't, not on the mic, mate.
It's hard to resist.
Just like your gym selfies, corn mince and corn pieces, find them in the freezer aisle. Part of the reason, Chris, you were a fucking great dancer. As I've said, I fucking wasn't. So the Claudia bit is the kind of bit where you get to show a bit of fucking personality. And there were so many times when me and Chris would be stood there and be making our own little jokes, thinking, we need to try and say this on the fucking telly because they want you to be all like, just dancing's making my life.
God,
and
that's so
this is the best
boring though.
thing I've ever
I
fucking
hate
done.
it when everyone says the same thing every time.
Yeah.
It's why it's so good when you can just get someone goes rogue. It's always one person goes rogue
And
on those after chats.
So whenever we did it and whenever it was like, I think in the end they stopped letting you and I do the interviews together.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, we don't know what's going to happen here. We don't know what's going to happen. We can deal with one, but not the pair of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was amazing. Obviously Strictly has started again. Diane's got a new partner. Yvita's got a new partner. Everyone told me after Strictly, when it comes back again, you'll get a bit like, well, I hope they don't have as much fun with a new partner as me. A bit of jealousy creeps in. How have you found it?
you know what? Quite good. I mean, the week that we're recording this now. When does this go out? This episode.
Next week.
This goes out next week. So I mean, where we're recording this now at the minute, they're practicing for the upcoming week. And Di and Stefan are doing a waltz. You know, we won a BAFTA for that. I said, what's he going to do? Win an Oscar?
I suppose that's the different thing for you is actually really she can only go backwards this year.
Yeah.
She can't beat what you two did.
Do you know what though? It's good. It's good. Like I said to her beforehand. I said I think the best person for you this year will be Stefan. I said because like we did. We had a really great partnership. Me and Di, and we did a lot of social media. We had a laugh, and it's almost like you don't want to try and recreate that in a way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I said, if you get Stefan, you get you get a pre-made team. You get the Aussie team. You get an identity. Go to town on all the Aussie stuff. Do you know what I mean? And have a laugh with that. And I think he'll be good for you. You get to celebrate the whole Australian thing for the time on it, So I think it's good. It's a good partnership for it. And he's like a proper, he's just a
He's a nice guy.
really decent Aussie
Yeah, I
guy.
met him the other week.
It gets quite emotional. I can see whenever I go to the thing and like you watch it. Like I don't think I've ever been part of a show that is. Man, trust me, we've done a lot, but like I've never been part of a show where there's so much emotion afterwards. I feel like once Strictly's done, is there that like almost slump afterwards where you're like, it's because it's such a high at all times. Because I did the jungle, but it wasn't the same because you're just around a campfire. It's not the same. Like I don't think it's the same adrenaline rush through as many months. Then you come off the back of it after having won it, and you'll never forget that moment your entire life. Like the emotion of it, how beautiful all of it was. Was it almost slightly hard to acclimatise afterwards?
It was, do you know what? It was hard to acclimatise throughout it. Like some of them, because you do the dance on the Saturday, and it's weird that there's only 500 people in that studio, and I'm on tour. I've been playing like 2,000-seater theatres, and you get lovely reactions after shows, and people cheer and they clap, but it's appreciative, and it's night we enjoyed the show in that studio with that 500 people down both sides. It's like, it's like they are celebrating a winning goal in the FA Cup final, because we'd get to the end of that dance and it would be primal. And then you'd have this combination of the release of all them nerves of doing it on live TV, the relief of getting through it, the knowledge that all of your family and everybody out there is watching it in exactly that moment. And then the noise from the audience hitting you. It was like this perfect storm. That, like, honestly, I'd have to hold on to Dianne for like until I could talk on the telly, and it was a lot. And then Sunday, I'd just be fragile, and then you'd be back into it on Monday. So it wore you down week by week until you cry on the telly.
It was beautiful, though, mate.
But it was a lot. And then when we won, it honestly, I was just a bit of a wreck for a while. We went out in Surbiton, where I live, 3 days after we won on the Tuesday, and we were in an Indian restaurant, and nobody said anything, nobody shouted anything, and we got up to leave after the meal. The whole restaurant gave me a round of applause.
Jesus,
I felt like.
Did you cry?
I felt like I was in a film. I was like, do you know what? I was like, well, this will never happen again. Like, it was insane that like it kind of reached that many people in a way that they felt. Because I'll meet people. Like I always used to meet people like in the street or whatever, and they go, "I liked you on Have I Got News for You? I liked you on Would I Lie to You?" But I'll meet people after Strictly, and they're like, it's like you've been through something together, like a trauma. Like they go, "Oh my God, do you remember that thing?" And every week, and it's like you've been through this. This experience together, it's insane.
People really go on that kind of journey with you, and the Strictly audience is one of the maddest group of people.
Yeah.
It's like a cult. It's like it's wild. How intense. Do you remember like
Blackpool, it is, mate?
But
but we think of it because it's not our world.
No, it's like,
but like if you were to describe for someone who didn't know what obsessive football fans are like. They go to the away games, you know.
Yeah,
God, they
completely.
go on a coach hundreds of miles when they wear the nylon shirts and they sing songs that they've made. You go, God, that sounds a bit insane, doesn't it? It's just their thing, isn't it, though?
It is wild, and I completely get what you mean about like the 500 people on that kind of night. You know, we've done like tours and stuff, like you know, even like the O2 the other week. I was more nervous about Saturday nights doing a fucking dance in front of 500 people, which is just an entertainment show, than we did a 2-hour show at the fucking O2 in front of 15,000. Like that doesn't.
It's your wheelhouse, though, isn't it, mate?
Because that's our day job.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
But doing
yeah.
something that isn't your day job and the pressure of fucking not embarrassing yourself after a week of putting every fucking fibre of your being into it, not letting down your partner. It's at the end of every dance, more than anything, is just the relief. And actually, I didn't really get to enjoy what Strictly was until after it had finished, when you go, fuck, that was pretty cool.
I feel like you never do though, do you?
No,
Because
because
you're so deep
so
in
deep.
it.
10 most scary things I've ever done in my life are 10 episodes of Strictly.
Mate, it's true.
Mate,
it's
can
wild.
what really strikes me is like, I'm sorry, this is meant to be like a fun podcast. This is quite like slightly more emotional, but like the amount of people who stood up and clapped you at that restaurant, right? Did it sort of hit you that there are so many people in this country who are just looking for someone to believe in and something to believe in and something to hold on to and go on a journey with, because there are so many people who feel like they want to go through life with other people? And does it make you feel really nice that you were part of that journey for them in their lives?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up, Sam. I really do feel like a modern day Jesus.
Yeah. You basically held their hand through life.
Yeah, I mean, I've been touching people and hoping it heals them. It was, oh, mate, I tried to, do you know what? You're going with emotion, I'll undercut it. Please don't clip that bit out on its own.
I'm
That is
Jesus.
it. Exclusive. Chris is a modern day Jesus.
It was insane how much it connected with people and how emotional it was. I never expected any of that. That all took me by surprise. Just a dancing show, innit? And for me, just reality TV. Never watched reality TV, which is why I'd never heard of this fella before we went in on it. And just not on my radar. Never expected it to be emotional. Never expected people to connect. Never expected dancing to be emotional, the experience of it. People to find it emotional. The fact that people would say that they were crying when at the end of a dance because of like a, and I always think of it, it's not like a sad thing. It's not like a emotional, I always think of it, I came to think of it as like the Mighty Ducks moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was like, if I watch a film like the Mighty Ducks, I always cry. I don't cry at sad things in films, but happy things make me, end of Homeward Bound. Right?
Yeah. Oh, mate,
End
yeah.
of Homeward Bound. That dog's in a ditch. I don't give a shit, right?
Yeah.
Dog in a ditch, innit? But when it comes over the hill at the end, I'm like, oh!
yeah, nice.
It's when,
People want something to smile to, mate. That's what we were saying. They want the joy. They want the hope and the uplift.
when happy things, when Joy finds out that she's nothing without sadness and inside out, I am a mess.
I love that bit. Oh, it's lovely.
It was the Mighty Ducks moments, and I didn't expect that it would make people emotional, and then it would make me emotional.
I mean, one of the really lovely things that, like when you do kind of shows and you do things like this, everyone kind of does the, I'm going to stay in touch and blah, 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 blah. You and I have really stayed in touch with our partners, Dianne and Yvita. Like, you do a podcast together, you and Di. How nice is it still having found a kind of a friend like that off a show like Strictly, having been through that kind of whole thing, and still get to speak to her every week and kind of, be part of that?
It's good, mate, and it is an intense relationship. Like Dianne, I can't think of anybody else that I have spent that amount of time with in such a condensed period of time.
Yeah.
Since I was a child. I mean, there's no period in my life where I've spent that amount of time with my wife in 4 months. Do you know what I mean? That amount of hours, 6 days a week for 4 months. It's an intense relationship. The fear and the terror that that I go through, and this is the thing as well, is that it's Dianne's bread and butter, but she was experiencing, she was going through something that was a challenge to her as well, you know? And so she'd never been that nervous going into a dance as she was in the first episode. And it microwaves that relationship to the point where you have to trust each other implicitly. She is daft as a brush.
Yes.
She's smart, but she's daft as a brush, and she's just herself. And we couldn't have been more perfectly matched in terms of that partnership. And you just become really, really, really good friends, you know, over that 4 months. And we had such a laugh because you have to, because it's so intensive. And it was just nice to carry on and go, well, rather than just keeping in touch, why don't we have a chat? Because people bought into what we were doing.
Completely.
People connected with us. So let's just keep on putting something out there and letting people in a little bit behind the curtain of what we're up to now, but also how we did what we did and put that out there. But yeah, she's great, you know.
It's a great podcast. Winning isn't everything, so make sure you listen to that as well, because it is, you know, I saw firsthand how well you and Di got on, and like it's one of the most beautiful things to come out of that is, like you said, is that intensity you do not get in people kind of when you kind of do them kind of shows. And I think we were both really lucky to have the partners that we did, because I certainly would never have been able to have done any of that stuff without Yvita. And if I'd have had anyone else, there was no way I would have enjoyed it, or there's no way I would have experienced that entire thing.
I mean, that's one of the things in it. Like every single, like you watch it, every single person on that show, you know, goes on that opening episode with the paired off. Oh, I really wanted Johannes. Oh, I really wanted Yvita. Oh, and the truth is, that's all. I mean,
bullshit.
Like, most of it's bullshit, because like you
have to say it.
Yeah. And like I didn't know any of them. I remember when I first met Dianne, and she went, "Where do you think I'm from?" And I went, "Essex." Right?
Well, the mad thing about
Where is she from?
She's Australia.
Oh, right.
The mad thing about Dianne Yvita is when we do like you do like an audition kind of test type thing. Chris actually did his with Yvita, and I did mine with Di. And then obviously for the actual show, we ended up fucking swapping and having the other people. I think
it's mad though. So like I kept on saying no to them, right? And I think a lot of the time when they do these kind of screen test things, it is to see if the person, if they want them for the show, yeah?
Yeah.
But every so often, it's to sell the show to the person, right? And they kept on asking me, and I kept on saying no. And then I did this thing with Yvita, and she was blowing smoke up my arse so much. It was like they'd gone, just tell him he's good. Yeah. Just tell him. I think Merson was the same, you know. They really wanted him to do it, and they were like,
Merson, I forgot about him doing it.
just tell him everything he does is good.
So, Chris, you were at the launch of this series, obviously, because you were dancing. Will you be going back to watch any other eps?
Nah, mate.
Nah.
I mean, I might go and sit in the Star Bar.
Yeah, do you know what? Me and you just sit in the fucking Star Bar together and not watch it, and then just...
Couple of old timers, been there before, done it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd never watched it before I was on it. Never, even when I agreed to do it, I didn't go back and look at an episode, because I just thought, well, I'm going to go on this, and I'm going to go on this as somebody who's never watched it, so I'm just going to figure it out as I go along. And the first episode of Strictly I watched was I dipped into the first one, this series, just to see how they did, and even on the one that's just the one that was on last, I kind of forwarded in and watched a couple of bits. So obviously Di and Karen Carney, right? Yeah. We're neighbours pretty much. We were neighbours, literally neighbours, and now she still lives in my area. So I've kind of been following her, but I've dipped in and watched. And do you know what I didn't realise is that, like, when they go, now with the judges' scores, Craig Revel Howard, and he goes 4 or whatever, yeah. Oh no, I'm watching it, and every time one of them gives a score, I don't know whether visually you're seeing it or just audio, but you hear the guys up in the auditorium. You hear you reacting to the scores.
Yeah.
I never knew that was a thing that was happening. I've got no idea what I was saying when I was on it in between this. Prick.
Mate, honestly, I think they probably turned our mics off, because it was mostly me and you every week going, fucking prick.
Yeah, but like I just thought it went to the judges. They did the 4 scores, then they came back to you. But I'm watching it going, oh my God, they go back up for a fraction of a second in between each score. And I was like, I had no one ever told me that was a thing that happened.
Oh, dicey.
In terms of kind of Strictly and this year? Have you got? I mean, Karen Carney, I met the other week for the first time, and I've got to say, one of the most
Lovely lady.
You've met her as well.
Yeah.
One of the nicest people I've ever met. Have you got any predictions?
Well, I mean, listen, like, okay, first of all, Karen, I met Karen during lockdown because we shared the same communal garden, and we didn't, like, we were chatting. And this is Karen all over for you. I said to her, "What you do? What you do?" And she goes, she so underplays herself. Oh, I work in football. I said, oh, okay. What? I like football. What you do in football? Oh, just analysis and things like that. I said, oh, all right. Is that like behind the scenes or like in front of a camera? Oh yeah, no, just in front of the camera. Oh no, bloody hell! What you do that for? Oh, the BBC and TNT. Turns out, yeah. Chelsea captain, second most capped player for England.
Yeah, mate. Dude, I play football with her, mate. She's little and unbelievably skilled. You've never seen anything running rings around me, mate, on the pitch.
Yeah, I said, hadn't you open with that? She went, yeah, it would have been a bit weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm rooting for Karen as well as Di, but do you know what? Like I met not only on the opening episode, but last year when they did the Christmas special, Harry was there, who's the gladiator.
Yeah.
And,
He's a nice guy, Harry.
He is. Is like such a good energy. He's gonna go far, I reckon. I think people will just love him. And listen, I'm a 48-year-old straight male who's comfortable with his sexuality. As soon as I met him, I said, "Come on, let me have a feel." And see what makes a gladiator. He was flexing.
Jacked.
He was pulling the pole. My goodness,
Yeah.
I have never felt a bigger pair of tits in my life.
Do you know what?
Honestly, it was his arms, his body, like.
Can I just point out that
Jesus
you're
Christ.
just sitting here going on about this, and earlier on, what you discussed was how my arse felt like a fucking shaving foam in a fucking.
Listen, mate, you're not a gladiator.
Jesus
He's fucking
Christ,
jacked.
Chris.
Chris, can I ask you a question? May I ask you a question?
Do you know what, mate? I'm not shy to have a feel.
I'll have a touch.
Sam, you're up next.
Chris, right, mate, do you know what, Chris? I'm going to shove my bollocks in your face. You can tell me what I feel like. No, I'm not.
That went
the
rogue.
gasp. The
Don't
gasp
worry, he's not
of
going to do
room
that.
Just went fuck on. Chris, fuck, I panicked. So I heard I wasn't here obviously when you last did the podcast with Pete, but I heard you have like an AI thing on your phone, right, which describes what people look like.
Yeah.
First of all, could have used that for Harry. It would have been literally the most jacked man on the planet. But I
think it would have said like a CGI version.
Of Hercules. But I was just wondering whether we could possibly do it again on Pete, because I believe it said Pete was 40 last time. We're a year on, and I just wonder what your AI might say about Pete this time around.
It's honestly one of the most horrendous things that I've experienced. It's like, this AI app. And then it went, this man is in his early 40s. And I thought, you fucking
He's seen too many winters.
Yeah. Uphill paper rounds.
Yeah, we can do. I mean, I need my phone, but my phone's in my inside pocket of me.
Oh, mate, it's going to be so good.
Let's grab the phone.
We're getting the phone now.
Whilst we do that, Chris, you've got a book out.
I have, mate.
Let's do that. Do the AI bit after.
Yeah.
You've got a book out. Keep laughing. When is it? Is it already out now?
Well, I mean, it will be when this goes out. Yeah, it's out on the 9th of October, which is, tomorrow from today, but a few days yesterday from where this goes out.
Monday, Wednesday,
Yeah,
Thursday,
well,
Sunday.
Jesus Christ, could be any day, couldn't it, really? And it's out. I mean, look at it. It's like it's a fat book, isn't it?
Mate, I'm going to be honest with you, because we've also got a book coming out. Yours is twice the size of ours.
Mate,
It's like a beast, mate.
It's like an adult wrote it.
Mate, it's like a proper person's fucking wrote a book here.
Yeah.
Explain to us a little bit about what the book's about.
Well, it's just autobiographical. So from just right the way through my life and up to Strictly, really. And it's, I mean, I kind of, because this is the thing, is that like I'm a procrastinator, right?
Yeah.
But they put it on sale before I'd started writing it. And there's nothing like a book being on sale that doesn't exist to make you write a book.
Yeah,
right?
that's already in the Sunday Times bestseller, and you're like, now I've got to do it.
So I didn't plan it. I thought if I start planning this, I'm going to go around in circles. I just started writing, and it turned out really that it's kind of like it's worked out as three sections really. I mean, not like split into thirds, but like the first part of it, I suppose, is the first 25 years of my life, because I lost my sight gradually over 25 years.
Yeah.
And I actually realized when I was writing that was actually a lot easier to write than I thought it was going to be, because it felt original, and it felt like no one else had written about it, and it felt like it felt interesting, that people might find it interesting, you know. And I think that Strictly really helped, because if I'd have tried to do this a year before, I don't think I would have been anywhere near as open about things. I would have kind of put a front on, gone for the gags at every point, and never really let people in behind the curtain, you know.
Yeah.
But once you've, you know, I think it really kind of...
Did you find it quite cathartic?
Yeah, and once you've kind of, you know, we were talking about the way it connects with people, Strictly and stuff. You honestly, it sounds a bit wishy-washy this, but you really learn, or I really learned the value in people sharing in your vulnerability and sharing in you, seeing you overcoming things, you know, and not just the shiny successes, but the struggle along the way. And the amount of messages me and Di were getting throughout Strictly from people who had, you know, it's not blind people, but people who had eating disorders and who hadn't been out the house in months and things like that, and saying it really kind of motivated them to get out and do something because they'd seen, because of what we were doing. And so I wrote it a lot more open than I would have done. And so that whole period up to the age of 25, I found was really quite a lot easier to write than I would have found a year or so earlier. Then, I mean, really, really conveniently for the arc of the book, but it's completely true. I started stand-up when I was 26. So the next kind of period is becoming a comedian and doing telly and getting through to, you know, being on all the shows that everybody sees me on. And that was the bit I went into it thinking was going to be the easiest to write, because it's what I like. It's comedy. And then you're writing it and you're going, but this is in every comedian's book. Is, and then I did the open mic circuit, and then I did a Live at the Apollo and all that. So, you know, I'm really pleased with how that's come out, because it's finding a unique angle on it and a personal way of putting it across, and your own personal experiences of something that every comedian writes about, really.
Well, mate, you...
And then obviously Strictly is a unique experience as well, isn't it? Not many people write about it. So I found that really, and it was fresh in my mind, and I was really quite emotional about it. So I found that really nice to write about.
You talk about other comedians, you've got a pretty glowing review up top on your book. Richard Osman, the thing about Chris is that he's funnier than everybody else.
I mean, that's quite a nice review.
That's literally at the top of his book.
Yeah, I mean,
Richard Osman.
I saw him a couple of months ago. He doesn't remember saying it. Yeah, no, he's lovely, Rich, and it's very nice of him to give me that quote without knowing anything that's in the book.
So
wait till he gets to the chapter where I'm slagging do you know what? And the thing that annoys me about Alexander Armstrong.
So October 9th, Keep Laughing is out. But as I said...
And on audiobook as well. So
I was just about to get on the audiobook.
Which we've just done,
We've just finished
ourselves.
our audiobook. Yep. I've done an audiobook before last year with my book, and I said to Sam, it's not the most fun experience in the world, because you do sit there for just hours.
It's draining, man.
The thing is, though, as well,
for
you guys, like, because... people know you from the podcast, and so what you're doing is you're taking something that works and something that people like, and sucking all the spontaneity and joy out of it. In terms of making it quite stale. So did you guys try and bring it to life a little bit?
A little bit, yeah.
The audiobook is like different to the book, because we just ad-libbed the fucking way through it. But the problem is obviously, you know, when you write a book and you go through everything, it's all checked by the lawyers to make sure you don't get cancelled. Then you ad-lib the audiobook, and then that has to go back to the lawyers because you've fucking said
It's like writing two different books, basically.
Yeah, it's like fucking hell. How was the audiobook for you?
So, well, listen, right, I don't read Braille. I can't read, like, see to read. So we didn't know if it was going to be possible. And but we knew that it had to kind of be in my voice, really, you know, to make it, you know, what it was. So it was a bit of trial and error. And so usually what I do is if I'm doing anything with a bit of script on it, like if I'm on the radio and I've got like something with a bit of script on it, I have one earphone in from my computer. My computer talks, just the Mac, and I can just go through the documents, and it reads it in my ear, and I will perform it as I'm listening to it. Now I can do that quite easily, and you can't tell I'm doing it. I can do it with like paragraphs and bits of script and framework of a show and all that kind of stuff. But this book's 122,000 words, and so to do that for 122,000 words, it was. It's come out great. Like once it's been edited. But I think quite a lot of people in Penguin are going to be in considerable therapy for quite some time. So,
I mean,
it's we made. I think I made more mistakes along the way than most people do. After me,
I think you're allowed to, mate.
And I'll be honest with you, having done the audio book with Sam,
Yeah.
I don't think you did.
Yeah.
After me, so I was in the studio in Penguin, and after me, I said to him, "Who have you got next in here?" And he goes, "Oh, we got Bill Bryson in, right?" Bill Bryson, like just an impeccably polished writer, and I'm guessing polished narrator. He sounds great on his books, but like he reads all of his own books. Yeah, I don't think they have any trouble with him. And I sent a text to the producer afterwards, and said, "Oh, how did it go with Bill?" And he goes, "Yeah, he did it all in one breath while standing on his head."
I mean, the audio book stuff is fucking tough.
It's a lot,
Yeah.
isn't it? Because you basically, it's like mental capacity because you're having like an 8-hour conversation.
Yeah.
And like always having to do it in a way that is engaging as well.
And the thing is, as well, is that you write this book, and when you're writing this, like the spontaneity of the material that that's coming out your head, I didn't plan it.
Yeah.
You're writing it thinking, this is funny. This is funny. And then, by the time you've gone over the 5th draft of it, you're like, I don't know if any of this is funny.
yeah.
And then you've got to read it.
Yeah.
In a way that you're kind of selling something that you kind of like, it's just words to you then, isn't it? You're like, God, I hope people find this funny.
Yeah, you kind of lose whether or not it's good or not. You
Yeah.
kind of think when you initially do it, this is quite good. And then when you get down to it, we had a whole day the other day of pickups.
Oh,
and
yeah.
fucking hell, at the pickup point, after people have gone through it on the audio book and the legal have changed everything, suddenly they've then structured the ad lib that you made in the first place, and you think, well, just don't bother putting it in now. It's not fucking funny.
Yeah.
Just don't bother.
Yeah.
I actually did read ours though, and I literally turned around to Pete and I went, it's actually pretty fucking good. But we're not pitching ours, we're pitching your book.
Have you got any advice for any sort of up-and-coming authors like Sam and I? Because yours is surely going to hit the fucking Sunday Times bestseller.
If it's not already there.
As will be in a bargain bin in Wilkinson's within a week.
What I did is, rather than planning, I just wrote a list of things that I thought I would probably talk about in the book. Yeah. I just wrote 1,000 words, minimum 1,000 words a day on those things. And I didn't even look at the book as a book until I got like 50,000 words.
Yeah.
And just write on them. And then you go, I've got 50,000 words, I only need another 20,000 for that to be a book. And then I can start putting it together. But if you start kind of trying to plan it out as you go, and certainly me, I go around in circles. I'd never get anything done. So, but you start writing it, and they go, okay, I go, what makes a book? How many words do you want? And they go, well, minimum 65,000.
Yeah.
Right. 80,000 would be great. 100,000 is amazing for an autobiography. But you start writing.
120,000. Stop going on.
Yeah. I wrote 130,000. They were like, we need to take 10 off this. But you start writing it, and you don't know whether you've got 65,000 words in you. So you're writing it from the beginning going, oh, I need to drag this bit out, don't I? And then you end up going back and editing it. But like you're writing at the beginning, like, I don't know if I've got 65,000 words in me. And
It
then
sounds like such a huge number, doesn't it?
it does. And to be honest, like I probably, like if it hadn't have been for Strictly, and I probably would have maybe got to a point and stopped and gone, do you know what? I'll just do another one. But I know that, let's be honest, the only reason I was offered the deal, and the only reason that probably at least half the people will buy it, is because of me being on Strictly. And I think it would get a lot of poor reviews if it just ended with like, and then I became a comedian. So, like, I knew it had to get up to the bit that a lot of people wanted to read about. So I kind of had to get it to that point, didn't I?
The early life, mate, is so interesting as well. What you've been through, and sort of like the graduality of it all. Like that's a lot, mate.
Yeah, and it was quite nice to write about it and to kind of unpick it a little bit and go, you know, it's one of them things like losing your sight over 25 years. You don't notice it happening, but you know, at stages you can look back and see the
notice it
differences.
happening?
Not day to day, not week to week, not month to month, but every, you know, you can look back over like, you know, a few years and go, oh, I used to be able to see that, you know. But it's the frog in the water, in it. You don't notice the temperature changing in the moment, and you always think you can, because you're always moving into less sight than you've got. You can always you always think you can see more than you can, you know. And it takes, you know, I write in the book, you know, it takes incident, injury, or like close shave, you know, to make you realize, shit, maybe I shouldn't be doing that anymore. You know, whether it's like crossing roads on your own, like you know, in dusk, or playing football or whatever.
So book out October 9th, podcast with Di. Tour is still happening.
Yonks, it's called, still happening, going on till May.
Jeez Christ, you
May
must be
next
fucking
year.
May
exhausted.
on
I don't know
stand
how
up.
you have fucking time for anything else.
Jesus Christ.
It's
Yeah.
like fucking wild, mate.
And the Strictly Tour's still happening as well, right?
The Strictly Tour.
What's Strictly
Is there no Strictly Tour happening?
I didn't go,
We
mate.
didn't, neither of us
You
did
didn't go.
the
You
tour.
did go on the Strictly
Neither
Tour.
of us did it.
No.
Oh,
Neither of
that's
us.
so funny.
Neither of us did it because neither of us thought we would be far enough to get asked to do it.
So the winner and the semi-finalist decides just to fuck it off.
I think it's the first time in history that the finalists never did the Strictly Tour.
Yeah, well, I didn't. I had my
And he
tour
was,
in
on,
the
he was on
diary.
his own tour.
Yeah, but they didn't think I'd be any good either, because I moved my dates from September, December, all them tour dates, 60 tour dates. I moved them to the next year to do Strictly. I said, okay, we're going to move the dates to January, February, March, and they went, brilliant, thank you, because they never thought I would even be in the mix
They
for the tour.
panicked.
Yeah.
And then it was like, you know, it was literally towards the end of October when we were like 6 weeks in. They went, oh, do you think you might be able to do the tour? I was like, no.
Yeah. Do you remember that week? Because it was that week. Like neither of us. Do you regret not doing the tour, actually, Chris?
No, mate.
Do you think you would have, if you weren't already on tour? Do you think you would have?
I said I would have done it. Yeah, if I wasn't on tour, I would have done it.
I love
yeah.
I love the blood. No, mate. Just no.
But I don't regret not having done it.
Yeah.
But I would have done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been slightly unfair on everyone else. To be honest with you, you would have won the fucking tour as well and had the clean sweep. You know what I mean?
I don't even know how it works, mate. You win the tour.
Yeah, no, Tasha won the tour.
Oh, right. Okay.
Tasha basically won 26 out of 30 nights or something.
Yeah.
But I think she was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris has got 0. Yeah, fuck
Chris,
that.
Chris,
Yeah.
we've got to use your AI tool now,
yeah.
mate. I feel
yeah.
I feel like this is the moment. This is the moment, okay?
Right.
Chris, I'm going to hand you your phone, right? And then we're going to go again.
I just love the fact that this is
To
now...
anyone watching this, by the way, they're like, "Why Sam got his phone? It's been handed to you at some point, has it?" And then it's coming across here.
Yeah, I've had your
Well,
phone. I've been looking for your messages, mate.
Yeah.
And
trying to open
so what
this.
we're going to do now, right, is we're going to show Chris's AI tool.
I love the fact that we're just ending again on me getting fucking mugged
Oh,
off.
don't worry, mate. I'm going to do him.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, no.
Well, this will be quite interesting, Chris, because Sam has been through a glow up recently over the past 6 months. He's had a tough time. Recently found himself single, at the start of the year. So since then, he's been at the gym. He's got a new haircut. He's been dyeing his hair, his beard. He's been having spray tans. He's actually got a strictly tan all year round at this point. He kind of looks like a what's it in a wig. So it's
None
gonna
of
be,
those were wrong.
It's going to be really interesting to see what AI says about Sam after
Yeah.
it absolutely fucked me over last year.
Well, there's two ways of doing this. I've got a few different versions here, but I'll do this one. But I have to dictate it into the thing. I can do the one with the video, but it's a little less accurate. But
Well, that's good. That's the one we did last year that said I was 40.
Let's do the
40
video. I think we do
fucking
the video because otherwise Chris is going to be too nice to Pete. He's going to be like,
He
beautiful
fucking
man.
won't.
all right, let's have a go at this. Then.
Sure thing. All right, so focusing on the guy in the mustard brown jacket, he's got kind of a bit of a stylish, slightly rugged look to him. He's got dark hair, sort of a beard, and I'd say he looks maybe somewhere in his mid-30s. That would be my guess. So not trying to sugarcoat it, just giving you a straight up estimate.
How old are
Let me
you?
know if that helps.
37. I will fucking take that.
No, he
I was
cheated though.
early 40s last year. I'm now mid 30s.
Cheated.
Was that you it was describing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
mustard jacket. That's me. Happy days.
Okay, right. Let's.
Oh,
I thought I
God.
was doing Sam there. Fucking hell, I don't even know where I'm pointing it. Right.
I'll take that.
And then what about this guy? Give me the same lowdown on this fella here.
Hello.
Absolutely. So the other guy, he's the one in the black t-shirt. He's got a bit of a more casual vibe going on. He's got a beard as well. And I'd say he might look slightly younger, maybe early 30s if I had to guess. So again, just a rough estimate, but he definitely looks a little more on the laid back side.
How old are you?
Hopefully that gives you a good picture of them.
I'm 33.
Oh, there you go.
That
there
was
you
very
go.
good. Well, listen.
She's amazing,
I mean,
mate.
that's not as funny as it could have been, is it?
No,
Chris, can I tell you something though? Can I just tell you something really quick? Pete cheated during that, just to let you know that.
How did I
Because you were
cheat?
moving your head like over here, you're moving it over there.
well, my profile doesn't look younger than the front up,
He's wearing
does it?
glasses.
I took them off.
Fuck's sake.
See? I'm over the moon with that, Chris. Absolutely
Just
over
for
the
comedy
moon.
value, can you tell me something like what's the worst thing about both of these guys? Just give me something like a bit of an insult for them, please.
Oh, you're trying to get me to roast them a bit. All right, well, let's keep it playful. For the guy in the mustard jacket, let's say his worst offense might just be that he's trying a little too hard to look like a cool 70s throwback. And for the guy in the black t-shirt, maybe we can say his biggest flaw is that he's just too casual for his own good. So there's a little friendly ribbing for them.
Well,
They
think-
hit Pete bang on there as well. You know, he was stood in front of the mirror for 2 hours,
hold
being
on.
like, yeah.
Let's just get this right.
70s throwback.
So I'm a fucking 70s throwback and he's just a little too casual.
Oh, Chris.
Fuck AI.
God, you've just nailed that.
What did it say? Did it say you were a bin man last time?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Honestly,
You did say you were a big
man.
Honestly,
Trying a little bit too
Too
hard for
hard
your
now.
own good, Pete.
I knew you were coming in, and I
That's
knew you
you
were
all
going to do
over,
the AI.
innit?
I really fucking thought about it today, and all that's happened is AI's fucked me again.
Yeah.
But
And
anyway.
what we'll do is that when you're doing it, just edit out all the bit before and just go straight for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That sounds great.
You already know my team, and that's exactly what they're going to do. But yeah, Chris, we thought we were going to try something else really quickly before you go. We don't know if this is going to work because I don't know if she'll answer. But you,
Oh my goodness.
well, it pranks, mate. You've done pranks before, calling people up.
Bit of a prankster you are, Chris.
So
Chris, like, am I?
when you was younger, you did prank calls pretending to be radio station hosts, for competition winners.
Yeah, what's this?
Do you think there's an opportunity we could potentially do that to Yavita?
And do what?
Well, what's the sort of pranks that you did before when you were this kind of radio host saying that she'd won a competition?
Right.
Do you think we could try it with Yavita?
And how would we do that?
Oh,
What's
dick
what's
me
the
butt.
angle?
Sorry?
Sorry, that sounded so rogue. Have you ever seen the
Did you just randomly shout out "dick my butt"? The fuck are you talking
Sorry,
about?
what I meant was do the prank where they go, it's like, hey, my name's Dick. What is it? Like, I can't remember the prank now. It's like Dick my butt.
I don't know what you're fucking
What's
talking
their
about.
name? What's their name? And you
Are
go,
you
my
malfunctioning?
name's Dick. I can't remember it.
You're just shouting out "dick" now. The fuck's happened?
I
here?
think what he's doing, I think he's trying to allude to like one of them kind of Simpsons type
It's
things.
yeah, no, that's
Moe's
exactly
Tavern.
Like it's Phil
the
McCracken.
Seymour
It's
Butts.
Moe's
Yeah,
Tavern,
right.
Seymour Butts.
Yeah,
That's not
but
Dick
he's
my
gone
butt.
like
It's not
he's
Dick.
got Seymour Butts wrong and he's gone for stick your dick in me butt. Dick in me butt.
Well, Chris, can I just, mate? You have just completely read where my mind was. I was at The Simpsons in Moe's Tavern, and it was Seymour Butts, and for some reason, Dick my Butts come out.
Right, okay.
Jesus. But
Well-
Seymour Butts is fun.
So what I think we can do is I think we're going to get Sam to call Yavita.
Oh, no, she
but
knows my voice.
Yeah, well, you'll have to put on a different voice, won't you?
You know I have a really bad voice accent.
But we want to hear this.
Okay.
So what is the best way and what are kind of the best pranks that we can potentially get Sam to do on Yavita? She's currently rehearsing for fucking Strictly, so I'm sure
Yeah.
she's going to love being bothered.
I mean, we could pretend that we are phoning from because we know where they stay when they do Strictly.
She's staying at home because she's in London.
Yeah,
She's gonna
but
be based-
we
Oh,
could
the
phone from the and say that she's left. They found something that she's left in her room.
What would that be?
But
well,
let's
We all went there.
I like this though.
yeah. I mean, you could say we found something that was left in your room. I mean, I don't really want to say out loud, madam, but you know, it's a ladies.
Yes, I like this. So Sam is going to give this a go. All right.
Oh,
Listen,
good, I'm
I
glad I'm out
can't
of
do
this.
it.
Yeah.
She knows me too well. She knows Chris has got a very distinctive accent. Let's be honest with you.
Yeah. No, I couldn't possibly do this.
No. And also, I just feel like Chris. It's funnier to watch this fucking prick do it. So,
Fuck me.
have you got Yavita's number?
No.
So you won't have the number. So you need to put it on a 141.
141.
All right.
Done this
141
before.
doesn't work anymore, does it?
Is it not?
No, I think you have to go into settings and phone, and then you have to go hide caller ID. There's like a little thing.
How many
you have
prank calls have you been
Yeah.
making? Mate? It's pretty fun. Well, no settings, no call. Fucking hell.
The rules changed in 2022, you'll see. Right, let's just do 141 just in case. And then what's the number after that?
You need to do a different voice. And
But I don't think that's going to hide your number.
Right, well, we're doing it now.
so it's the
Mail. The person you're trying to reach is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up.
Hello. I'm calling from the and you have left an object in your room. Nobody wants to go in and touch it, but it's definitely yours. And we are just thinking that maybe you come down and pick it up. Thank you.
How did-
I don't know.
Mate.
I don't know. I'm fucking panicked.
Mate.
Fuck.
We have an object. Nobody wants to touch it, but maybe come down, pick it up. Goodbye. Jesus Christ. Well, on that
Mate.
note, I think we all need to go and take a fucking breather.
Fuck me. Do you know what the worst thing is, Chris? This has been one of the more sort of like prestigious guests we've had, and we've ended it with that.
Yeah,
It's just-
well, listen, start as you mean to go on. That was fucking
Well,
great.
next week, mate, I think it's going to be me and you hosting this, Pete.
Yeah, man.
yeah, exactly.
is
That
it
was
nice,
the plan
mate?
all along.
Chris, thank you so much for being here again, mate. And listen, it's incredible the stuff you've got going on. So, are there still tickets available for the Yonks tour?
Yeah,
for
it's
next
still
year?
some tickets, the Palladium in London is kind of where it ends, and Shepherd's Bush Empire as well, and all over the place. So yeah, there's some of them. Some shows have got tickets left. Have a little look, chrismccausland.com, and Keep Laughing is out October the 9th. Already out.
There you go.
Already
So
out.
we're already out as this comes out, as the crow flies.
So, from the Strictly winner, incredibly funny man, author, fucking everything else, fucking man of many
legend.
talents, and a pair of fucking wallies.
Chris, a real honour, by the way, mate. Lovely to finally do this with you.
Cheers, mate. And do you want to sign off with your new accent?
Yeah, just say goodbye. From me, Sam, Chris, and
Christ alive.
go on, say goodbye, Sam.
Goodbye, everybody.
Beautiful.
Fuck. Chris, thank you so much, mate. What a real honour,
man.
mate. A real honour.
That couldn't have gone any better, that.
This has been a Staying Relevant production.